If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy.
Bling. Happy Sunday, folks. Hey, glad to see y'all. It's great to have you all here. It's awesome. I love my Sunday afternoons with you folks. I got to shout out those folks that have been out in the chat pre-show and folks that are just popping in right now. First one here, of course, was Metal Music Maniac with one of his yeah, right. His wise ass comments. I love you, Metal Music. And Old Country Homesteading. Great to see you, Alexander. That's great. Awesome. And there's Kimberly Ferris. There's my sweetheart. She's always there for me. It's awesome seeing you, Kimberly. Step Van Dan. He's my neighbor. He's over in Minnesota. I'm here in Wisconsin. He's over in Minnesota. Yeah. Yeah, he says, hey, and big hugs from Minnesota. Sty North. I put a fresh pot on, my friend. You betcha I made myself a fresh cup of coffee over here. I'm almost done with this one. Yeah, I'm all set for the show. And there's Rebecca Felter. Awesome. It is so good to see you, girl. Awesome, awesome. Look at this. This guy's in the basement. He's down there chowing down. Now, what would make you think that a guy called Grillin' and Chillin' with Mojo would be chowing down on a live stream? What would ever make you think that, you know? Nah, he's allowed. You're allowed to eat on my show. Have at it. If you can get it in your mouth, eat it. Kathy Bates, it's great to see you, girl. Hey, I hope you're doing well. Oh, I haven't seen you in forever, Cinderlou. It is good to see you. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for stopping in to the Sty Shack. You betcha. And Nabul. Nabul's been showing up more and more often. There was a long spell there where Nabul and I were just not, time in life didn't allow us to mesh up. But lately he's been popping up. It's great to see you, Nabul. And that's everybody out there in the chat right now that are active out in the chat. I got to remind everybody, here's your chance. Share it out. We got a couple hours of this. We're going to be chatting away and having a good time. Without any further ado, I'm going to pull a couple of folks out of the basement. A couple of good dependables. Yes. Here we go. First one in the basement, of course, was Gemma.
Hey.
It is so good to see you.
You too, always.
Yeah. Everybody, take a look at her. She's all blinged out, boy. She's all sparkly today. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean to overstimulate anybody, but I've been in glitter and sequins, and I just have to wash out my hands earlier because it's everywhere.
You're so shiny today. I can see people in a certain community going, "Oh, Gemma, you're triggering me."
Yep. I've really
Oh, sorry. I'll put a
video
sweater over it. I'll put a sweater over it. Yeah. We got one more person in the basement. I got to pull this guy up. Got to pull him up. There he is. Oh, no, go right ahead. Take that bite.
I'm good.
Don't pass up a good old mouthful.
That's something my wife made it. Good morning or afternoon. We're afternoon. Good afternoon to you, sir.
It's afternoon for us. What is it out there with you? Noon?
It just hit noon. Yes, it did.
Just hit noon. Yeah. No wonder you're chowing down.
I haven't had breakfast yet, and then I'm gonna go make some homemade Salisbury steak.
Are you?
Yeah. So we'll
Oh
see how that
gosh.
goes.
I watched your Saturday show.
That long, dude. That was long, and yeah, I mean it was brutal. I'm not gonna lie because
Well,
it's really tedious or however you say that word. And it's
Tedious.
tedious. Yeah. I'll tell you though. For one thing, making that hollandaise sauce,
Mhm.
what a pain in the butt. I mean, it is just, if you're not a patient person, don't
Yeah.
do it. It's just like making a homemade red velvet cake. Now, I don't know how many people have ever made a red velvet cake from scratch. It's just like that hollandaise sauce. Once you start mixing the ingredients, you cannot stop stirring.
Stop.
There's no breaks in it. Once you commit, you're there to the end. And my ex-wife loved her red velvet cake, and she'd go, Sty, we're going to make red velvet cake today. And I say, oh, the hell we are. I ain't got that much time. No, I know. And I ain't stirring it because I was the guy that had to stir. Yeah.
Watch this, Sty. Hey, babe. Come here for a second, real quick. What is your favorite cake?
Red velvet.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm not making one for you. There's such
He
a
said
pain
he's
in
going to
the
send you a
butt.
red velvet cake, and he's going to make it homemade.
No, I'm not. No. I know this German gal here in Ashland, Wisconsin. She's got a German chocolate store. I mean, it's like a candy store.
Uh-huh.
And she's an immigrant. She's only been here in the US for about 15 years now. But her specialty is all these homemade German chocolates and cakes. Oh my God, the cakes she makes is just, she's got cakes that she sells for $85 for one cake.
Wow.
But she says when you put a $45 bottle of booze in that cake, you got to charge the right price,
Right.
But she makes red velvet cake from scratch, and it is to die for. So if we ever cross paths, I'll go down there and I'll talk to Roberta and say, hey, I need a red velvet cake. I promised to make one for somebody. And I'm going to lie about it. I'm going to say I did it.
Right.
And I tell
Hey,
oh, Teresa. Teresa's in the house.
This is New
Oh,
Jersey.
it's so good to see you, girl.
Hmm? Well, I got to comment on something. Is that okay?
Oh, no, you're not allowed to have an opinion at all. No.
I just want to say you're looking good, sir. You're looking fabulous.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
getting
I
better
tell you
every
what.
day.
I tell you what, out of a litter of mutts, I look pretty good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, guys. So, yeah. No metal music. I am not going to use a power drill to make that red velvet cake because, yeah, it would have to be on a very slow RPM because I don't want to have to do the cleanup afterwards. It's hard enough the way it is.
Red velvet cakes are hard, huh? Wow.
Yeah, they take.
Because we can't be dried out. It has to be moist. But
Yeah.
I like every cake except for I'm really not a German chocolate cake person.
Oh, yeah, this Roberta here in town. Oh, her German chocolate cake is just a die for. It is so rich and so moist. And see, I'm one of those. Don't serve me a piece of dry cake.
Right?
It's got to be moist. It's got to be a nice, moist cake. I haven't now for a couple of years. I got all the crap to do it. But we make a homemade cake that's called a crazy cake. And basically what you do is you take the flour and all the dry ingredients and you mix it in a cake pan, a glass cake pan. You get it all mixed, the cocoa, the flour, was it baking powder, whatever goes in there. I got the recipe, so I don't have to remember it. But you put it all in there and you make 3 holes in it, and you put an egg in each hole, and you put so much cooking oil in each hole, and then you pour a certain amount of water in over the top of the whole thing, and you sit there with a freaking fork or a whisk, and you got to mix that whole thing in the cake pan. And you just go, it takes about 20 minutes to get it all mixed.
Wow.
Really well. Pop that bugger in the oven. She rises up nice and thick cake, big sheet cake, and just so damn moist. It's just, it's to die for. It's like eating giant soft brownies. I mean, and it's the stupidest, simple cake recipe. And we just have always known it as crazy cake. And yeah.
Wow. It sounds delicious.
I haven't had one in, like I said, it's been a couple of years. I'm going to have to make one. I don't think I could eat the whole damn thing, though. So I'll have to go around town passing out cake to people. Let them eat cake. Hey, Freeman James, there's my brother-in-law. It's
Hi, Freeman James.
lucky
Hey,
looks are in the eyes of the beholder. Yeah. And he says it's nice to see all my guests. That, yeah, he's seen enough of me over the years, Yeah. Old James and I, we've got, oh gosh, I bet you we got about 40 years of putting up with each other.
Wow.
He's been married at least 40 years to my sister. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what your guys' week was like, but mine was just nuts. It was nuts. I had running water home for 3 weeks, a week before Christmas, the week after Christmas, and then this last week. And he was supposed to leave on Thursday, then because we had a snowstorm, he ended up leaving on Friday, which I was telling Gemma earlier, screwed me all up because I had a very important medical exam to go through Friday morning. And he needs to get to his truck from here. And we only got one vehicle shoveled out of this place. So I'm telling him, hey, man, when do you need to leave on Friday? He says, I got to leave around noon, by noon. I go, well, then you're walking to your damn truck. Because I got a doctor's appointment. It starts before 8 o'clock, and it's not done until 1 in the afternoon. I said, I don't know how you're going to get your damn truck because I'm not missing my doctor's appointment. You're supposed to be gone yesterday. Well, snow and everything, he says. I said, I get it, but this is really screwing things up. Well, it didn't. He was all ready to go that morning. I got him to his truck, and I got to my doctor's appointments, and all worked out. It all worked out. But the whole week has just been odd. Running water. I used to have a bedroom downstairs here in what was supposed to be his office. And so I took that up for the last 8 months. I got the hell out of there. I'm back in my nice big bedroom upstairs of the house and getting the bedroom kind of squared away, getting comfortable up there. He comes home, and after he's been home for about a week or so, he had a lot of things, a lot of electronics and things, all in a big pile in our living room in front of his television on the floor. So it took up about maybe 20% of our living room. And I said, you bought a new rug for our living room. And if we're going to put that down, you got to get all that crap out of the living room. And he looks over his shoulder back in his office, and he goes, I can't get that stuff out of here until I get that office put together. I said, then why aren't you putting together the office? Well, fortunately, we had snowstorms while he was here. So I'm out snow blowing with the brand new snow blower he bought. I love it. He bought a almost $1,300 snowblower, and he hasn't run it yet. But boy, I ran the hell out of it this last couple of weeks. I
Yeah,
love
you did.
I love it. That thing's sweet. But he took advantage. I'm out there snowblowing. He jumped in that office and he tore into the place. And he's got the same studio desk I have.
Yeah.
Plus he has another desk at the end of it, a big cabinet to the side. And he had to build all that stuff. It was all in boxes in there. And he had so many things that he has purchased and ordered that have never even been removed from their boxes. So he's in there for about a week, tearing that room apart and taking things out of boxes and finding places for everything. He's hanging his instruments on the wall. He's got a banjo. Oh, gosh. What else he got up there? He's got a banjo, a couple of guitars, and a ukulele mounted on the wall. And a mandolin. But he's got so much stuff, this boy. I mean, he just loves gadgets and things. And he comes walking out of that office one day and he goes, "Look at this." And he's showing me this awesome acoustic guitar. And I go, "Well, that's sweet." He goes, "Yeah, I just took it out of the box." He goes, "But there's a problem." And I said, "What's that?" And he says, "Look over your shoulder into the office." I looked in the office. There's one just like it hanging on the wall. And he goes, "I don't know how the hell I did this. I bought two of them."
Oh, wow.
I said, "Oh, shit. Maybe I should learn how to play the guitar." You know, his leftovers are my treasures, man.
Right? He accidentally buys two, so you get one.
Oh, yeah, and he gets it back anyway when I croak. He'll get it all back anyway. So he finally got that office in order. And I told him, I said, I told him, your sister and her son and his wife and their baby are coming to visit. We need this stuff out of the living room. So I got somewhere for him to sit. And so he tore into this living room. And oh my God, it's just like the whole world opened up. All of that's in his office now. And yeah, he made short order of a hell of a mess to deal with. And it kind of really screwed things up with me having to stay in that office during my illness. And now that I'm back upstairs in my own room, world's looking really good. But
Yeah, totally.
it's been nuts. It's been nuts. The whole last week. And then I had my daughter showed up yesterday, and I don't know if I can or not. Oh yeah, I can. Let's see, we'll pull this one up. I'll try to share that. We'll see if I can do a share on this. Trying to there. I got to do a share screen with this one. But I gotta show off. I gotta show off a little bit. There we go. Now this is a picture of me with my youngest granddaughter. She would be number 14 of my grandkids.
14. Wow.
Yeah. There she is. Her name is Fawn. Her name is Fawn, and she's got a genetic disease. We prefer to call it a disorder, but it's like a compound disorder. She's got two genetic issues going on. She's on a feeding tube for the rest of her life.
Oh no.
And God bless her. All of my feeding tube equipment is the same stuff she has to use. So I was able to give all that stuff to my daughter to take home to take care of the little one. She's such a sweetheart, that little kid. maybe I can do a full screen on it. See, yeah, it, yeah, she's such a sweetheart, that kid. But she, last time I saw her was when they brought me home from the hospital after my surgery. And all that little girl could do was scoot on the ground. She could just scoot herself a little bit here and there. Oh my God. Yesterday I was laughing so hard. That kid was in everything. She's up and she's walking, and she's over 2 years old, and she should have been walking a long time ago. But she is now, and that kid is in everything.
Yeah.
And I love it. I mean, she's a sharp little kid. Now that next one I'm going to show you, this is I honestly didn't think I'd ever get to this point, but let's see, where's a good one? That's a good one. I'll pull that one up. And I'll set the share screen
Hey,
up on
Chuck.
this. But this is oh, some of these things are cumbersome to get to. There we go. But this little fella, his name is Atlas. Very unique name. But there is my 4th great grandbaby. I got to see him. The kid's only about a week old.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
That's cute. Oh.
Yeah. He's a little cutie. And I told his mom and dad they are probably the luckiest mom and dads in the world, because that little boy doesn't even let out a peep. He doesn't cry. You know, he'll make a little bit of noise if he's hungry or if he needs to be changed, but he doesn't scream and holler like every other baby I've been around, and I've been around a long time. And I sat there with him in my lap for damn near an hour, explaining to him that he doesn't have to be that nice, you know, that he can go ahead and scream at mom and dad all he wants. You know, I try to coach my grandchildren to terrorize their parents, you know. Well, I figure, you know, what goes around comes around. My kids terrorized me when I was raising them. It's their turn to go through it, you know. But so yesterday was a great day for me. I had, I don't know. I just had a long day with family that are hard to get together with. I'm taking a look at the chat I've been ignoring, and I see Plain Old Chuck's popped in the house. It is so good to see Plain Old Chuck. But yeah, so that's been Sty's week. Pretty exciting. Lots of snow blowing, lots of work around the house, and I still got a bunch to do. I counted the boxes today in the front room here. I got 16 boxes I need to break down of stuff that Running Water has purchased. In the back porch, I did a count this morning on those. I've got 27 boxes I need to break down back there, all recyclables. You can imagine all those empty boxes, they take a lot of space, you know. So that's what I'll be doing tonight. Finish up breaking down the boxes. Tomorrow's garbage day, so I got to get everything done, ready to haul out to the damn alley in this wonderful snowy weather.
Oh man, are they picking up the trash?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It snows 2 inches. It snows 2 inches here, and they don't pick up the trash.
No kidding. Here I got to haul it out there, and I got about a 4-foot high snowbank from the plows, and I got to hoist that big garbage can up and stick it in the snowbank so they can reach it with their truck.
Wow.
And you know, garbage men anymore don't even get out of it. They get in the truck when they show up to work. They get out of it when they get off work. They don't get out of the garbage truck anymore. The garbage truck grabs the container, dumps it in the truck, sets it back down, and off they go to the next house. The garbage men never get out of the truck, ever. I want that damn job. I found out they're making $28 an hour. I just about peed myself. I said, God, I wish I was 20 years younger. I'd be a garbage man, for God's sake. Yeah.
Can I say something? I was a garbage man years ago.
Oh, cool.
Ago, just for a short, like a year.
Uh-huh.
And when I went and checked out my pension, because I'm going to retire in 1 year. I don't know if I told you.
Yeah.
My birthday, which is the 12th, 1 year. And that garbage job helped me out, and I didn't realize it. So that was 6 months less that I had to work. So
that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, you can look back and say, yeah, that wasn't such a sweet job. And then way down the road, you go, whoa, that helped me out a bit. I guess it was worth handling people's trash, A friend of mine, high school, actually, first time I met him was kindergarten. We went all the way through school together. His dad owned the only garbage outfit in the town I grew up in.
Oh, wow.
And of course, his dad was one of those, you got to follow the family tradition. And he was going to make a garbage man out of his boy. His boy said, bullshit, Dad. I am tired of lumping garbage cans, dealing with all that garbage and that nastiness and the maggots and the stink and that. He says, I ain't doing that. But what did his boy do? And his dad said, well, it's close enough to garbage. His kid bought 80 acres and started a scrapyard. Mm-hmm. And he's got a huge, huge scrap operation going on. And yeah, right now he's sitting pretty flush. The last time I saw him was about 5 years ago. And I was surprised that he still looks healthier than hell, tough looking character. And he's my age. And find out that so he says his net worth is worth about $11.5 million.
Oh, wow. Look at him.
Running a scrapyard. He's the son of a garbage man. So don't ever look down your nose at some of these simpler lines of work in the world, because some of them boys really come out on the front end of stuff,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. Plain old Chuck. Yeah. See, that's it. Chuck, Mojo sipping on that cup. It's going to make you go brew a coffee. Well, that's what I told everybody. You can eat on my panel. You can come up here and eat. I'll let you. You just eat. If I was hungry, I'd be eating too.
Yeah, that's it. We are the coffee coffee state here. Seattle is a coffee state.
Is it?
It's where Starbucks came from. I don't drink Starbucks coffee.
I'm lucky. I don't like the smell or taste of coffee. Ugh, it's disgusting.
No.
I can only drink it up, and I get the shakes, and I'm hoping I can sleep tonight because I'm drinking this.
See, I'm the opposite. I can drink coffee. I can drink 3-4 pots in a day. I can have a cup of coffee before I go to bed. I hit the rack. I'm out. Caffeine has never had an adverse effect on me. I don't know why. And there's been times that's been disappointing when I was driving truck, like Running Water does. When I was out on the road, I was drinking a couple of 12-packs of Mountain Dew every day, hoping the caffeine helped keep me awake. It never did nothing. Yeah, Chuck with the diabetes, ain't that fun? That was another thrill too. On Friday, I go and I get my prescription for my insulin for my diabetes. That's the only thing I'm on now is my insulin. I don't take pills, and I don't take it. I take 0 pills now. None.
Crazy.
Nothing. Before
Nice.
I had my cancer, I was taking 9 different pills. I took 7 of those pills in the morning, and in the evening, I took 4 of those pills every damn day. And it was that way for about 6 years. I go through all this cancer treatment. They cure my cancer, and they take me off all the pills. They said, you don't need those damn pills. Your blood work comes back perfect.
Wow.
What in the hell? I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. But my damn diabetes, I go down to the pharmacy. I called in my script and said, yeah, I'll pick it up Friday. I go down there, pick it up. Not until I got home, I'm looking at it. Well, I take 18 units of what they call Humulin N insulin in the morning and in the evening, twice a day, 18 units. I look at the package of these pens that you get with the insulin in them, and it says 8 units twice a day. I'm going, whoa, wait a minute. You're 10 units short on here. You know, that 8 units, no, that ain't going to work. So I called the pharmacy, and they said, well, that's the prescription we got. We got to fill it the way we get it, you know. They said, you'll need to talk to your doctor. So I got a hold of the doctor's office, told them what's going on. They said, we'll look into it and we'll get back to you. Don't quit taking your 18 units. Don't do that. Just do what you normally do, and we'll figure out your prescription. Well, they called me back. Here, that's what the Mayo Clinic, the cancer people, they changed my prescription, and it was still in the system, and that's the prescription the pharmacy had on.
Oh, wow.
So I told them, I said, you're looking at a prescription that's over 5 months old. When they first put me back on insulin, I said, that's ancient, man. You can't, so here's the scoop. They said, okay, we can fix that. Your doctor just sent us a new prescription for the right dosage. And I said, oh, cool. So I just take the 18 units, and then when these 5 pens are gone, I just ask for another script. They said, that's where we're running into a problem. Because what the Mayo Clinic script is for a 90-day supply.
Oh, no.
We will not be able to bill Medicare for another 60 days. I said, well, whoa. I go, in that 90 days, I go through 3 of these boxes. I got 1. They said, yeah, because of the smaller prescription. And I said, so at the end of the month, end of January, I should be able to get February's another box of 5 pens. And they said, no, you won't be. Well, you can get it with the new prescription, but we can't bill it out to Medicare. They said, it's going to have to be self-pay for 2 months. So now I've got my medical team all jumping down Medicare's throat. It's our screw up, not his screw up. He's got to have this, blah, blah. So they said that it might take them a week, but they'll get it squared away where Medicare will pay for it. Because that prescription is $465.
Holy smokes.
So I'd have to kick out almost $1,000 in the next 2 months just for my insulin. So that just added color to last week. Hey, Bradley Whitworth's in the house. Yeah. So, but
what's the deal with all these little like things, these doctors and different things, and
it's just
always something, huh?
it's like, can't they get things straight? I mean,
yeah, I've got a funny story about doctors myself in the last week. Obviously, a lot of people know that I had an operation done on my hand last Thursday, the 29th, and I had a little bit of more pain than what I thought. And when I took the original bandage off, like I said, my hand was black to Sty. I said, my fingers are still fairly puffy. I'm a bit worried that my circulation's not coming back. And so I've been backwards, forwards on the phone to doctor. Look, help me. I don't know what to do. I don't deal with pain very well because of my autism. I'm very heightened. I'm stressed out, everything else. And he goes, whoa, calm down. He goes, I'm seeing you next Friday anyway for your hand physio appointment. We'll see what the update is. So I've been crying, getting stressed out. And then he phoned me yesterday and he was like, how's your hand? I said, well, it's a little bit better. I said, I'm still worried that it feels like it's pulling because obviously it's where it's healing up, where the stitches are starting to dissolve.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I bend my wrist, it's like I can feel like a pulling pain up my arm. I'm like, is that meant to do that? And he was like, well, yes. And I'm like, that doesn't sound big. So I talked to him today. I'm like, now it's itching. It won't stop itching. It's like I'm sitting here and all I can feel is like my arm itching. And I'm like, I really want to scratch at it. He's like, don't touch it. So I've been sitting here trying to ignore my arm for the last 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, I'm really getting irritated now. It's starting to really annoy me. But it's doing a lot better than it was. Like I said to Sty earlier, all the purple bruising's gone from up here. There's just a little bit of a green bruising around here, but it's
healing up good
now.
Yeah,
but
it's looking better, so much better. Yeah.
It's been a hard couple of weeks trying to rest it and having to sleep with a pillow up here for like the last 2 weeks. I'm like, ugh. But yeah, it's been frustrating because the doctor's like, well, you're over panicking. I'm like, I'm not over panicking. I don't feel very well. And you're telling me not to worry. I'm thinking,
you're just trying to be sure. Yeah. Hey, Chuck, isn't that true? See, that's the thing with me is my insulin per month is I pay a $12 copay, right? And then all of a sudden they turn around and tell me, yeah, it's going to cost you almost $500. It's like, whoa, you realize how many copays that is at one time? And you don't find out how expensive that insulin is until your insurance all of a sudden ain't covering. And they throw you the retail price of it, and you're just like, my God, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's insane. And Bradley, that accident, what a bummer, eh? So you got yourself a new Ram. Good for you. I hope that's not what was in the accident, was the new Ram. You got the new Ram because of the accident. Yeah. Hey, Scott Keller. Awesome. Great to see you. Santa Claus after Christmas is Sty North. Santa Claus. Thank you. Yeah. I had a couple of folks asking me, how long you had your beard, Sty? I said, this one? Because I've had so many beards over my life, it's ridiculous. And they said, oh, was there a time when you didn't have a beard? And I said, yeah. And this was a PMing each other, And I sent them this picture so he could see. I said, that's me in the middle.
Yeah.
No beard. Had the bushy mustache, but no beard. Well, that shocked him. And he said, so you've never had a big beard till now? I said, no. I said, back in 1978, I said, I had quite the beard back then, too. Plus, I had a hell of a lot more hair.
Wow.
And he said, so this beard, how many years is that? And I said, since 2014. I said, in 2014, I decided I'm going to grow this beard out. And never cut it again. Rest of my life. I'm done with the beard on, beard off, beard on, beard off. No, beard for the rest of my life. And I almost lost it through the cancer treatments. Damn chemotherapy, 2/3 of my beard fell out right in my hands. I mean, I couldn't run my fingers through it without coming out and look like I'm holding a dead cat, And It was terrible. It was and I got friends like Phil, everything's spicy, telling me, Sty, because I kept threatening, I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to cut it off. If I'm going to lose it and look like a shaggy dog, I'm going to cut it off. And Phil said, don't do it. Don't do it. Let your audience see that transition.
Mm-hmm.
See what you go through. See how far it goes before it's completely not there. And lo and behold, I lost about 2/3 of it. And then after my treatment and the surgery, everything, it's growing back. It's getting thicker again. And so I'm glad I took Phil's advice and just stuck with it. And he says it might be a little embarrassing having people watch you lose that beard, but he said, but it's an awareness thing, you know. That's one of those things you're going to have to go through, you know. He was right. Oh, he only had 5 payments left. Now he's starting over again. Ain't that the way it is with vehicles?
Man.
I've only bought 2 brand new vehicles in my life, in my whole life. Every other vehicle was a used vehicle. And every other vehicle I never financed. I paid outright cash for. This last truck I bought, I paid almost 10 grand for it. That guy just about peed himself when I walked in and said, I want that truck. Oh, you want to check it out? This and that. I said, no, your buddy. I was in here earlier and we went over the whole thing. I test drove it. I want that truck. And we negotiated the price. And he goes, well, I'll give you the keys once your check clears the bank. I said, well, then give them to me now. He goes, what do you mean? And I pulled out the old wad and I dropped.
Well,
I dropped over 9 grand on his desk, and he's just sat there with his jaw on his chest. He goes, who walks around with that kind of money in their pocket? I said, me once in a while. It all depends on what I'm planning for. Once I got the cash for it, guess what? We're doing, cutting a cash deal. Hey, Dr. Smith, welcome aboard.
Hi,
Welcome
Dr. Smith.
aboard. Yeah, I got to show you all. This is my front yard.
You want to see his front yard, Dave? Look at the snow here. I'm going to show Tracy this real quick. That's a chunk of snow. But look at how beautiful. See, so he used his snow plow to open that up, right?
The snow blower, yeah.
Or yeah, snow blower, not snow plow. Snow plow,
Yeah.
totally different.
Yeah, it's
Hey, Grammy.
hey, Native Kutsa. Hey, sweetheart. Great to see you. Yeah, we got snow, but that ain't nothing. We got a lot to go yet. Usually February and March, that's when we get our big storms. So, but I'm not worried about it, not with that snowblower. Hey, Marine Mom. Awesome. Marine Mom's in the house. Especially you, Sty. Well, no, they're all our equals. They're all our equals. I ain't nothing special other than the fact I give us the platform to hang out. You know, that's all. I just have an open door. That's all I do. Yeah. Teresa's still here, listening while packing. Packing for what, girl?
Didn't she move back east somewhere? I think.
Teresa?
I can't remember.
I feel bad. I have not been able to keep up like I used to. That'll get better here within a couple of weeks. Yeah. Marine Mom. Open door policy. Yeah, I have an open door policy. Pretty much so. But the thing is when you come in the door, I determine whether or not you get to stay inside the door or not. And then the next determination I make is, do you deserve to be thrown back out the front door, or are you the kind of person I need to throw out the back door? So there's no sign of you of ever being there, you know. If I throw you out the back door, I didn't even want people seeing you coming in the front door.
So it only swings one way? Is that how that works?
Yeah. Oh, no, Teresa. Oh, my prayers are going out to you. That's bad. That's bad.
Oh, sorry to hear that, sweetie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Teresa. That's sad. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I hope your move goes well. And God, heart goes out to you. The landlords. Oh my gosh. The new owners only gave you 3 days to find a place and pack, but I'm trying. Oh, come on. Texas has got to have better laws than that.
Greetings.
I haven't
Here, just 1 second.
dealt with the Texas tenant regulations, but I have in about 15 other states dealt with eviction situations and things like that. And yeah, they wouldn't get away with that here in Wisconsin. They give you a 3-day notice, and all you have to do is approach the court, and they'll book it on the docket for a month from now. And then you go to the hearing, and then the court will say, yes, they have the right to kick you out, but we're not going to let them for another month, so that you have plenty of time to find some place and move. It would never happen here in this state of Wisconsin.
We get 2 weeks here.
2 weeks?
Yeah, before someone kicks us out. Yeah.
Here they have to give you in writing a 28-day notice. 28 days. So that's a good 4 weeks, you know.
Yeah, we get 2 weeks, and then we can scale it to the high court, and then, but usually it's a 2-week get out.
It's a normal period.
Yeah.
As a renter, I get a little more for low income, but they are trying to help me get them, so hopefully I find something fast. Oh, I'm praying for you, girl. I'm praying for you.
I'll be thinking about you, Teresa. I hope everything gets sorted.
Oh, there's an old friend of mine, MT Woods Runner. Another. He's Peter Montana. I was Montana for a few years, but boy, old Woods Runner, he's Peter Montana, and he's praying for you too, Teresa, and that does not surprise me. That man has got a huge heart, and he is such an outdoorsman. Mojo, I tell you what, if you've never met MT Woods Runner, that old guy, he's my age.
Oh, so he's a young guy.
He's a young guy. Just a couple years ago, he set a challenge to himself to hike to the top of 20 mountain peaks in Montana.
Oh, nice.
And he did it. He hiked all them suckers.
Wow.
I loved it, man. I loved it. I wanted half of his energy at his age. And it was sad. He had a close, dear friend that would go on some of the hikes with him. And he wouldn't be able to make it all the way to the peak, but he'd go as far as he could with MT. And he was such a great friend of his. And it was so fun to watch this guy and the interaction with him and MT. And he passed away. And so MT lost that partner on the mountain, you know. And
That was his hiking buddy, huh?
Yeah, he did a lot with the guy. They were very close, and but MT Woods Runner, right from the day I met him, I just like, oh yeah, that's this guy's. He's got all of my nature plus 4 times the energy.
Oh, he's in Montana. Is that what you said?
Yes.
So
Yeah, near Yellowstone.
I just brought up my totes, and it's been a good year and a half. And I'm not going to give the reasons why I've done it, but I'm backpacking probably Saturday. And
Are you?
possibly going to be on the snow? It depends on the weather. Yeah, so we go backpacking, and I mean we're up here in the mountains, so we have Mount Rainier and all these mountain ranges up here.
Yeah,
So,
you get up a little bit of elevation, you're going to get into snow.
yeah. I mean
Yeah.
Montana has a lot.
Oh,
I mean,
jeez.
isn't that Rocky Mountains connect there or something?
Yeah, they run right through the
Right through it, right?
western
Yeah.
side of the state. Where we lived in the northwest corner of Montana. Right, we were 40 minutes from the Idaho border, where we were at, and it was if you witnessed the bird flu, it's about 10 minutes from the Idaho border, but you had to run way north and then head west to hit Idaho. But we were in the Cabinet, the Cabinet Wilderness Range, the Cabinet Mountains, which is sister to the Rockies. It's part of the Rocky chain, and we had that one winter when we lived off the grid. We went up in the backcountry. I took my family up there. We lived off grid in an old 1906 cedar log cabin, 16 by 20 feet long, that cabin. And 6 of us lived in that thing all for a year. And that winter, the snow got so deep, but there was no wind in the canyon we were at. I can't remember what the elevation was where we were at. We were about a half mile below the tree line. So you hike up the mountain a half a mile, you came out of the tree line, and it was just rock. There was no timber up there at all. But at our place, I had 2 big horse corrals, and the posts were about 10 inches around, big posts for those corrals, big wooden corrals. On the tops of those posts, I had measured the snow, 4.5 feet of snow on top of the post.
Wow.
Because there's no wind. It just kept piling up on top of that post. Running Water became critically ill, and we had to get him off that mountain that winter. And that was a hell of a rescue mission, boy, to get him off that mountain. But after we got him in the hospital, I went back up the mountain. I got the whole family off the mountain. I went back up the mountain with some friends with a big Army deuce and a half that had been rebuilt, I mean, from frame up. And that truck, when we drove up there, we had to stop about every 100 yards and get out and shovel the snow.
You see that little kid walking by with the umbrella?
With the umbrella.
Yeah, that's so cute.
But yeah, we got up there, and those guys said, well, when we get up there, what are we going to do? I said, well, we got to take care of 3 dogs that I had. I was sure they were running out of food. Take care of those 3 dogs. I said, plus, if we can, I want to get my truck off the mountain. And I said, if this big old beast of a truck will pull mine, we can drag it down off the mountain. We got up there, the first point of order was find my truck. It took us an hour to find my truck because it was just flat level snow below our cabin where I could get my truck pretty close to the cabin. My truck had disappeared. We're out there. We're out there with 6-foot long poles poking in the snow, We're all on snowshoes and we're poking through the snow until finally, dunk, dunk, dunk. There it is. We found the truck. And it took us about an hour to shovel it out to where you could get the driver's door open. And we ran a big chain from that big deuce and a half over that snow and hooked it up the front end of that truck. And off he went. And I just sat in that truck trying to steer it all the way off that mountain. I had it running so I could have heat, but half the time I couldn't see. The snow would pile up over the hood and over the roof of the truck to the point where there's no visibility anymore. It's just, I got 3 feet of snow between me and the sky. And we'd stop about every quarter mile and shovel all that snow off of my truck so I could see to aim a little better. Otherwise, I got my head hanging out the window. But that big deuce and a half, that snow was so deep coming up that we had to stop about every 150 yards or so and shovel the snow off the front end of the truck to see out of the windshield because the snow came up to the top of the hood of a big Army deuce and a half. That's how deep that snow was. We had 400 and some inches up there of snow that winter. Yeah, Woods Runner saying, smack dab in the middle of the Montana Rockies.
Nice.
Just south of Livingston, Montana. Have a
That's
great
awesome.
trip, Mojo. He's telling you have a great trip. If you tell him you're going camping, he'll tell you have a great trip. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm out of shape and I'm, I want to say I'm old, but I'm out of shape. And it's fun. Nothing it's only where we're going is about a 1,800 foot gain over 3 miles. Normally it's like at the end of the hike there is when that gain is. But it depends. I'm not sure what we're going to do. It all depends on the weather up here.
Sure. Well, yeah, you don't want to go out in it if it's going to be extreme.
But we want a fire. We want a fire.
Gotta have
a fire over 5,000 feet.
Oh, that's right. You guys got that. Even in the winter, huh?
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter. Anything above 5,000, you can't have a fire pit or anything. So
I'm sorry. That's beautiful country where you're at. I mean, that's beautiful. Rainier, that whole area. Hood before it blew its cap.
It's in my backyard. It's right there in my backyard, Mount Rainier.
Yeah. Beautiful country. But I'm sorry, I couldn't. If I was there, I'd just stay in an established campground somewhere. I could not go up into the high country if I couldn't have a fire over 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
No. I think of the Cabinet Wilderness, and I hiked the living hell out of the Cabinet Wilderness, and hell, I get up there on top of a mountain in a nice big mountain meadow and set up my camp and get me a nice campfire going, catch me some fresh trout out of some native cutthroats out of a stream. And if they said I couldn't have an open fire, I'd say, oh, what the hell? You can't camp without an open fire.
Right.
I'm a campfire lover, man. Most of the camps I was on with others, they'd say, leave the campfire to Sty. Leave it to him. Okay? Yeah. He'll make sure we got all the dry wood and kindling and everything for the next 5 days, You're damn right, and I'll get it all done in one day. Then I get to screw off the rest of the week. You guys do the cooking and you do all the other camp chores. I got the fire going. See, I'm the kind of person, I can sit by the campfire for 2 hours breaking up kindling. I'll have so much kindling together that you can start 3 fires a day for a week, and I'll get it all done in an afternoon. And I'll get enough big wood put up in the afternoon last out the week. I don't know why. I just like tending fire. I just like tending fire. I like tending fire so much that the Native American tribe that I worked for, the last one I worked for, they have a 30-day ceremonial fire that they go through every year. Well, and they hold it at the worst time of the year. It's early spring. There's still snow everywhere, and it's snowing on and off between snow and rain. And they got to keep that fire going 24 hours a day for a whole month. Now, you're supposed to be native born to be a fire tender.
Mm-hmm.
They came and they grabbed my butt and they said, Sty, would you mind staying in camp for a week? Because it's a traditional camp, a couple of wigwams, and it's non-traditional for that tribe, but they had a couple of big teepees. And they'd say, come stay in camp for a week. And I said, why? Well, we want you to be a fire tender. I said, I can't be. I'm not native. I'm not, no. Oh, no. The elders suggested that we have you come and tend the fire. And I said, now what's the real reason behind that? And they said, we got bad weather coming, and they know that you'll keep the fire going. So I got to keep their fire going for them that year. And yeah.
Hey, Justin.
Marine Mom says, you're a firebug, Sty. No, I don't. No, I never burn anything that's not supposed to be burnt. No,
No, he's saying the little ones that fly around.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm bright. I'm bright. Bright and shiny. Yeah. I like that. Thanks for the compliment. Hey, Justin, buddy. It's good to see you. Awesome. Thanks for stopping in there, buddy. So that everybody knows at the end of this month, end of January, you'll see notices. I'll put them up on the channel. I will be bringing back Sty Times, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's only a 1-hour show. I don't have panelists often. I do once in a while bring one person up because it'll be a topic that person really relates to that topic, and I'll bring that special guest up. But otherwise, it's a 1-hour show that's topic-based. So I am open to any topics you guys want me to address. Kick them my way. I'll address them. Even if I had one person say, well, during your Sty Times, you did two shows of the same topic. And I said, yeah, because there was so much to say about it. I said, so don't be surprised if you hear the same topic over again, because things can change too. You know, the times change, so the topic has changed. It's the same topic, but the gist of the topic can change. And I like the Sty Times. I like getting on there. It gives me a chance to rant a little bit and take you down some paths of thought that you never thought you'd think about. You know, I'll take a topic and I'll ring a few bells and make you think, oh, I got to rethink some of this stuff. Yeah. So I love that show, and I'm going to be bringing it back. It'll start no sooner than the first week of February, or no later than, and it'll go all the way through till most likely into April. So that's 3 shows a week, plus this show. This show's still every Sunday. And then I'll be bringing back in February, the first part of February, I'll be bringing back around the campfire. So that'll be 5 shows a week. So the channel's coming back, guys. If I'm coming back, the channel's coming back. We're going to get things fired up and rolling along. Next summer, next spring, it's going to be real busy. It's going to be real busy. This old boy's got more pokers in the fire than he's had in years. I got a lot of things I want to get done. So I think it's a good time to just refresh everything. Hey, there's something I got to do. we've been going at this for about an hour. I got to do this every show. I've got to shout out my channel members. Okay, this it's 40 seconds. It's 40 seconds. So don't anybody go anywhere. We're going to be right back. So just watch this through for 40 seconds. Don't go anywhere. There you go. Some great folks. Check their channels out. Check their channels out. Yeah. So life goes on. Now you're going to retire in a year. Doggone.
Well, it sounds like, oh, you're going to retire, right? No, I'm still going to work, part-time, but I'll collect that pension.
Right.
And not stress out working for the man or
right.
the big,
right.
huge company. But,
you're not going to be stuck to the clock anymore.
I'm so ready. I've been there 27 years. It'll be 27 years when I leave.
Sticking with the same outfit. Wow.
26 years on the same route. The same route for that long.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Hello.
Now you know why I'm so nuts.
Yeah. Oh, sure. See, now I could never. I don't know. I guess, and it kind of runs in the family line with on my dad's side. I mean, my dad did so many different things in his life, but his career was being a chief of police, being in law enforcement. But he had so many sidelines and things going on all the time. He always was adding color to life. And my grandfather, he was a jack of all trades. He was a boiler maker, a millwright. He did all different kinds of things. I mean, he worked in the iron industry, the logging industry. He was all over the place. Well, I combined all of their backgrounds and applied it in my life. And I'm kind of like the jack of all trades. I've tried to put my hands on everything I could, just to say I've experienced it. And so my actual full career, I put in almost 27 years as a financial crisis manager for Native American tribes. And I flew a desk. However,
you flew it. What'd you say?
I flew a desk.
You flew a desk.
Yeah, I was the pilot of a desk. Yeah, that was my job. But the one tribe, Red Cliff, when I worked for the Red Cliff Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa, I'll never forget when I had 5 of 9 tribal council members show up on a job site yelling at me, "Get the F off of that backhoe tractor, get down here, we want to talk to you." I got off, and one of the crew runs up to me and hands me my jacket, and I tightened up my tie and put my jacket on. Here I'm sitting on a backhoe tractor, a big Massey Ferguson with a big backhoe on it, and I'm trenching around one of our homes for the tribe, tribally owned home. I'm trenching around it, and we're laying new drain tile. And they go, "What in the hell are you doing on that backhoe tractor? For God's sakes, man, you're wearing a 3-piece suit and a hard hat, and you're running a damn tractor on it." I said, "The guys called me at the office and said that the operator didn't show up for work today, and we need this job done. And I'm the only one that's got backhoe experience to do it. I said, so if the job has to be done, it doesn't matter. I could be sitting out here in my underwear and a hard hat. Whatever it takes, we got to get the job done. And they said, Sty, you shouldn't be doing these things other than flying a desk. That's your job, is to fly the desk. I said, no, my job is to get the job done, that period. I don't care what it is. They would find me up on the roof, shingling a new house we're building. They'd find me, we'd rent a tractor trailer, and I'd run 400 miles away to get a load of lumber for a construction project. I did everything that you shouldn't do as a desk jockey, you know?
Yeah.
And they said, we can't believe, though, that you dressed the part as the office manager, top dog in the office setting. That's the way you always dress, but you're out there in the field. One time they caught me we were doing a full landscaping project, 40 homes. And I said, every one of these properties need to be re-landscaped. We hauled all the junk cars off of those properties and everything that accumulated over the years. Got in there, regraded every piece of property. They caught me out there with a garden rake, prepping the yard because I had a load of sod coming in. And they said, what are you doing out here with a rake in your hands, for God's sakes? You're supposed to be back at the office running the place. I said, you can't run a place that you're not willing to get your hands into. If you're not willing to get your hands dirty, you shouldn't be running it. And they just had a hard time understanding that concept. My whole accounting division, 21 people, I informed every one of them, when your vacation time comes up, I will not assign somebody to your job. I will fill your slot for you while you're gone. And they go, well, I'm just a bookkeeper. Somebody's got to do the job, and I'm not bringing somebody in temporary just to do your job. I'll do it while you're gone. They couldn't believe that shit. What's he doing out here crunching numbers and doing the daily affairs stuff? But I knew every one of those jobs. By doing that, I knew all of their jobs. I knew what they had to go through on a daily basis. So they always felt treated fairly because I wouldn't lie to them. I'd tell them, oh, yeah, I know. Or I'd tell them flat out, oh, come on, that part of your job's a breeze. Don't you start whining to me about that crap. I've done your job, you know that. And they'd shut right up. They go, yeah, that's true. You know? Yeah. So I was one where I always thought you had to become part of that crew that you're looking over. And if you did that, they will follow you to hell and back. And they did. All my employees, almost 27 years, I only fired 3 people. And 2 of those people were the same person I fired twice. So,
Wow.
and I went through, in the 26 years, I went through 196 employees that I worked with personally.
That's a chunk. That's a chunk of people.
Yeah. The biggest crew at one time I had my accounting division, which if I added on the HR crew who were under me, and I added on the tech department that was under me, if I added all them together, that came to 41 people. And I had 93 people in my construction division. Because the tribe was hiring all these outside contractors to come in and do all their work for them. I said, you got all these qualified tribal members, unemployed, living on the reservation, using food stamps and barely getting by. What kind of bullshit is that? I said, we're going to start our own construction company. We're going to build our own shit. I hired 93 people, all tribal members, and we built 26 houses. We fully modernized and turned over, made them beautiful, 135 existing homes. New landscaping, 40 homes got these beautiful big decks built off the sides of their houses they could go sit and enjoy. They all had beautiful lawns, and everybody was taking care of their lawns. My rent collections on a monthly basis, HUD couldn't believe it because they're HUD sponsored homes. They couldn't believe it because I was able to, on a consistent basis, rent collections were always at 98%. Never dropped below 98%. Everybody paid their rent. They all paid it on time. And the ones that missed, that bring it down to 98%, would make it up within a week or two. So in actuality, it was 100%. You know,
Hi, Julianne.
Yeah, Julianne, good to see you. What's up? Anything and everything's up. We talk about anything and everything. You betcha. Yep. That's what Sundays are about. We just come and hang out at the Sty Shack and get things off our chest. Yeah, Marine Mama, jack of all trades. And I've had people say, well, and it kind of upsets me when you say that, because I love jacks of all trades, the majority of which, but a lot of people have this mentality that a jack of all trades is somebody that has done almost anything and everything, but he's not really good at any one thing. I'm telling you, don't get in my face with that shit. I'll knock your teeth out. I'll go neck to neck with you running a backhoe. I'll go neck to neck with you running a chainsaw. I'll go neck to neck with you running a log loader. I'll go neck to neck with you driving a truck. I'll go neck to neck with you handling finances of a multi-hundred millions of dollars organization. So don't give me this shit that you're a jack of all trades means you're not good, not really good at anything. You just have experienced it. That if you stick with one thing, you're a professional in that. I won't argue. You stick with something like Mojo did for that many years, they're going to have a hard time replacing that guy. They're going to have a damn hard time replacing him. But that doesn't lessen a jack of all trades. It's a mindset and a career direction that each of us have to make, and another thing I don't like is somebody that's got a stable 8 to 4 job every day. It's been that way for 20 years, and then they turn around and they tell somebody that's cooking at their local restaurant that they go to for breakfast every day, they tell the cook, you ain't nothing but a cook. Oh, ain't nothing but a cook? Guess what? If all of us that ain't nothing but a cook decided to quit fucking cooking, guess what? You and your smart ass ain't going to have breakfast anymore. So I'm not important because I'm a cook? No. Everybody's job out. I don't give a shit what you do for a living. Everybody's job out there is important. It's important to somebody else. There's somebody out there that is depending on you. And don't ever put somebody down for the line of work they're in, ever. You're damn lucky they're doing it. Hey, KK.
Hi, KK.
Marine Mom, that's right. Everyone would starve. Yeah, that's right. The Mojo's line of work is the same way. If he didn't do what he did, there'd be a lot of companies that were hurting. I mean, every position in the world, every job in the world is just as important as the next. I've had people say, what about a doctor? They're so much more important than anybody else.
No.
Well, what if that doctor, what if a trucker that hauls the groceries to the store that doctor buys his groceries from decided to quit hauling it, and all of a sudden the doctor can't eat? That doctor ain't worth a shit when he's starving to death. I mean, you better give a little bit of kudos to that trucker to keep that doctor healthy enough to take care of you. I mean, it all goes around. It all goes around. Every one of us are important in this world.
It's like you say about doctors, like I can back that up because being treated by doctors myself, you don't realize how important and crucial they are to you getting better. Like the involvement they've had with me, they literally have taken care of me from step to step to step. They were there to explain it. They were there to support me. There were any questions I had. Like if I would have panicked and rung up yesterday and didn't get hold of him, I would have felt a bit upset. But he was there to go, okay, Gemma, I said, this is what you're worrying about, this. And I was like, oh, okay. And then today I'm like, oh, I worried about nothing because he explained it. It's normal. It's this. And I was like, oh. So I just over panicked. And now I'm like, just like one simple phone call to say, hey, everything's fine. Okay, I can then de-stress and go, okay, that was just a little wobble, but I'm fine. And the doctors are brilliant. They get so much negative press a lot of the time, especially over here, and it's sad. And I work in the medical field, so it's kind of even I'm a medical volunteer, it still means that everyone's job is relevant. I may do something that's not the everyday average, but I'm still important as anyone else.
But it's a service to some people that is necessary. Everything out there is necessary in somebody's life. And like Freeman James says, there's only one job, and that's to survive. You bet.
Yeah.
That's, and you will do what you need to do and hopefully be able to do what you like to do. And that's what I tell people all the time is, if all you think that's important in life is money, income, well, then, yeah, you'll start thinking, well, doctors are the most important. So are attorneys, lawyers, and, people that make all that big money. But if what's really important to you is being happy in life, you're going to go into a line of work you like, something you like to do. You might not be the rich man on the street, but you're happy. You like going to work. I always said, if you don't want to get up in the morning and go to work, you need a new job. You need a new job. Every job I've ever had, except for a couple of them, I've always got up in the morning and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to work. I want to go to work. I like going to work. I like my job.
I love my work. Oh yeah, I love my work. Like I've got so many opportunities, like doing the radio podcasts and going to advocacy meetings and going to mental health meetings. I have the time of my life. Yes, sometimes it's hard and I struggle and I get over panicking and whatever because of my anxiety, but I do it because there's other people that need me. And Marine Mum, I'm from the UK. I'm from across the big pond, as you guys call it.
Yeah.
Across the pond?
She's across the pond.
Across the big pond.
I don't know if I ever said it to Gemma, but some of my dear friends across the pond, I've told them, I told them flat out, oh, you better straighten it out. I'll drive right over there. I'll straighten you out. I'll drive right over there.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, sure you will. Well, yeah, I'll drive right down to a ship and put my truck on the ship, and then
I wouldn't say you wouldn't. I know full well what you're like. I know you really would. Especially about times I've called you, and I'm like, sorry, I'm having a really bad day. I'm like,
Oh, I love it. I don't remember which stream it was, but I ran into it about a week or so ago. One of mine. Oddly enough, I'm at 105 uploads, 1,005 uploads as of today. Well, today will make it 1,006 uploads to my channel. So, yeah, there's people say, "What you got on your channel?" So I said, "Oh shit, I don't know." I got so much crap on my channel now. I don't know.
Yeah.
You just, go to my homepage and look through all the playlists. There's 1,005 things on there. Maybe you'll find something you are interested in. I don't know. But I was looking at a stream and it was funny. And at the moment, at that time, I think I just let it kind of roll off my back. But now looking back at it, it was actually pretty damn funny. I had Gemma on panel. I had Dojo on panel, and I had Nick Jones from Wales on my panel. And I had people out in the chat, and a lot of times I miss what people say on the chat, because I'm captain, first mate, and the swabby on the deck. I got nobody helping me sail the ship, so sometimes I miss things in the chat. But when I look back at that the other day, I'm watching it and I'm going, "Oh, that was a pretty interesting conversation, man." And now Gemma is very easy to understand, but Dojo and Nick, their accents are so strong that if you're not used to them, they can lose you. They start talking fast, they'll lose you. You're just like, what the hell did he just say? I had people in the chat saying, "Who are these people? You can't understand anything they're saying." And I got a whole panel of them. It's just me up here with all these people from the UK all over. And I'm up here talking away.
Varied. That's the problem.
What's that?
Our accents are so varied. Like, it depends where you are in the country. So
right.
If you're at the top of the UK, where like Nick and Dojo are, their accents are going to be more stronger. Whereas I'm right down near the bottom of the country. So for me, I'm basically what they call the Queen's posh English, which is ridiculous. Sure. I don't think it's posh at all. But everyone says, "You sound so posh," and I'm like, "No, I'm really not."
MT Woods Runner, I get out to Montana. I'm hoping, but I can't guarantee this summer.
Thank you, MT
2024, it's a given. I will be in Montana. But you got to know, I'm not coming to that state again. I'm not coming to the Western Rockies without sending you a message and figuring out how we're going to at least connect. I don't care if it's at a local cafe over coffee and pie, but we are going to connect, buddy. And he wants to see you too, Mojo, if you come his way.
That's just on the other side of Idaho, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm on the other side of Idaho. I'm in Washington State.
Yeah. All you got between you and him is the neck of Idaho.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through the main body of Idaho to get over to him. You can go farther north and cut across. You can cut across through Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and then drop south once you get into Montana. Does anybody know about Lake? This is terrible. Lake Coeur d'Alene. All right. Now, I didn't live in Montana 3 months, and I had that down. Lake Coeur d'Alene. All these people, you knew the minute they weren't from Montana or Idaho or Washington State. Do you know where this Lake Cardorial is? You look at him and you go, "Well, I know you ain't from around here." But I never did a Sty story on it, but this is pretty odd. Me and a buddy of mine, we saw an ad in the paper and we thought that's bullshit, but let's follow it up to see if it's true. So we went down Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, met up with this guy. We went up to the lake, and he had a submarine for sale.
Wow.
He had a freaking submarine for sale. He had bought it from the U.S. government, And it was a downsized, typical naval submarine, but it was downsized and it was used for training. And they used it in Lake Corderay years ago, but like back in the late 40s, early 50s or something. And we went and we got on that thing. He took us right in the sub. We're looking around. The only thing I didn't like is I'm 6 feet tall, so I'm bent over all the time. You can't stand up straight if you're 6 feet tall in that thing. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty damn cool. They had taken the forward torpedo room and turned that into like an observation room. It had a couple of big bubbles on it, like eyeballs. And and they were selling that submarine. They only wanted $16,000 for it.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, and we did a little research on it, found out that it only needed about $85,000 worth of maintenance and repair. Oh, that's why it's only cost that. Okay, so it's going to be $100,000 by the time we can actually put it to service and use. But we were tempted. We were going to buy that son of a bitch and do submarine tours of Lake Corderay. We were going to advertise and take tourists down to the bottom of the lake and back in the submarine. That's the way Sty is. So I bought a 40-foot stern wheel paddle boat out in Montana. A 40-foot stern wheel paddle boat. Man, that thing was huge and sweet. Oh my God. It was 40 feet long, 12 and a half feet wide, had a full inside cabin, had a big upper deck. Talk about a party boat. Had that big old stern wheel on it, big old paddle wheel on it. And that thing was sweet. I never got to use it. I wanted to put it in the Clark Fork River and do paddle boat tours from one dam to another back and forth.
Oh, that would be cool.
For the tourists, and have drinks and snacks and things on the boat and take them for like a 2-hour tour up and down the Clark Fork River. It's a very narrow part of the Clark Fork Canyon, and the mountains are just beautiful through there. I thought the tourists will just go ape shit over there. Never got to it. I had the boat, had it sitting in our front yard forever, repainted, new carpet. Yeah, she was all decked up. Fire. Oh, yeah, you go in there, fire her right up like starting your car. Put her in gear. The old paddles turned great. It was good and ready to go. Sold it to a fella in town, and he put it between his yard and a bar in town. And he said, we're going to have a on-land party boat. I said, okay.
Cool.
Yeah, at least it got put to good use.
You know what I was thinking? An Airbnb.
Oh,
Making one out of an Airbnb.
No kidding.
Yeah, because you don't need it to run. So if you just get some scrap one, you're going to pay probably scrap for it. But
Yep. The yeah. There's a few paddle boats still out and about around. Yeah. I've been on a couple, not for several years now, but I love paddle boats. They built one on Lake Couderay that was steel hulled. Great big bugger, boy. 65 feet long and about 16 to 20 feet wide, and ran on a big diesel engine, had a big stern wheel. And that was quite the project. Watched them build that over a 2-year period. And when they got done with it, boy, it looked like something right out of the Mississippi, boy. And sure enough, it was a big party boat on Lake Corderay. And yeah, that's one thing. On the Justin, that one on the St. Croix, right there at Taylor's Falls. But The only thing with paddle boats that are kind of a bummer, and they took care of that with that big new one they built. Um, they put bow thrusters on it to help in navigation because they are a bummer to navigate. You're going along, and if you don't have what they call rear rudder control, which 90% of stern wheel paddle boats had forward rudder control, which means the rudders are in front of the paddle. That means the boat has to be moving to turn.
Yeah.
You can't turn that boat unless it's moving, and it's going to be moving quite quickly to have any response to those rudders. If you put the rudders behind the paddle's throwing water into the rudders, and that thing will turn on a dime. Well, with mine, the only way to turn it, if you're moving less than 2 knots, which isn't that fast. I mean, you can walk that fast, like a fast walk. The only way to turn the damn thing is you throw the stern wheel in reverse. Excuse me. And you throw the water into the paddles, into the rudders, and you have to turn the opposite direction. And you could steer that boat by having it in reverse. And it was quite the education. But again, I have to tell you, that's Sty. I mean, what in the hell am I doing with a big old stern wheel paddle boat? But you know, the guy had it advertised, and I watched it. He had it advertised for almost a month, and it didn't seem like he was getting any bites. So I gave him a call, and he says, "I'm willing to do a trade too, you know," because he didn't have a price on it. I just wanted to find out kind of what he had going on, and I traded him an old 1964 canned ham camper
Hey, the other side.
that I paid $300 for. I traded him that even up for that big stern wheel paddle boat. And he hauled that boat on a flatbed truck all the way down to my house, 85 miles from where it was located. He got the permits, everything, hauled that thing down, and we jacked it up off that trailer, put it on barrels so it's standing off the ground about 6 feet, and off he went. And I just traded him an old camper that I had that was junk. And yeah, hey, the other side of life. Yeah, I almost saw the other side of life.
Right.
I'm not in a hurry to take that journey yet. No.
So did you see that guy earlier in my garage?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's my next door neighbor.
Is he the one that comes around when you're cooking?
No,
No.
So this guy is our mechanic.
Oh, he's your
And-
local wrench.
Oh, he is an amazing mechanic also, and I don't want to change Tracy's oil at all, but he does all the work on my car because he's a Subaru guy. And so he just came over, took the car next door, and changed the oil. Didn't charge me anything.
Oh boy.
He's
Oh.
I'm really lucky to have this guy.
No kidding. Neighbors like that are worth.
Yeah.
I mean, they're worth their weight in gold.
I'm
I
looking to buy a submarine, and I can't find one for sale without $400,000.
Right.
One that's broken down.
Yeah.
You'd have to pay to haul it, but to do an Airbnb, that would be.
Wouldn't that be just? It's so unique and awesome. A friend of mine out in Montana, he is kind of a industrial. You know, he's always thinking of how he's going to make a buck. The next way he's going to make a buck. One day he called me up and he says, "Come on down to my house." I said, "Why? What's up?" He goes, "Come on, you got to get down here." I said, "Dale, calm down. Just tell me what you got to go. You'll know when you see it." So I go down to his house. There's nothing. I parked. He's got this big pullover. It almost looks like a rest area kind of pullover in front of his house. It's on his property. And it's all gravel and flat. And I pulled up, drove through that, went down to his house, parked by the house, and he comes out, and I go, so, what's up? And he goes, he looks at his watch, and he goes, just watch the road here. Just watch the road. It's coming. It's coming. All of a sudden, here comes this big Escort, the flashing lights, everything. Here comes this big semi-truck with the wide load placards on it. And what's on the bed of that sucker? A caboose.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He bought himself a caboose. And they, right behind them's this big crane rig following him. They get there, and he's got these concrete pads all set up for him to set that caboose on. Right on its wheels, the concrete pads are made concave, so the wheels set down into it. They hoisted that thing off the trailer, set it on the ground, and he was just thrilled. And he says, they're running late. He says, but I'm so glad we got it in place. He says, I got others coming that have to do with this. And I go, what in the hell are you doing here? And all of a sudden, here comes this big flatbed truck in, and it's got a stove, it's got a big upright freezer and a big new double door fridge and all this shit. And here comes the power company. Power company's hooking the power up to this thing, and he's got this construction crew there. They had to remove the one door and a part of a rail, and they're hauling all that. They gutted the thing, and they're hauling all this equipment in there. And he put these old railroad car benches in there with tables all along the whole one side of it, and all down the other side is a counter with all the kitchen gear against the wall. He goes, I'm opening up a caboose restaurant here.
Wow. That's so cool.
That SOB made 115 grand the first year.
Wow.
Off of that thing. I said, what did you have to pay for that caboose? He says, I got it cheap. I got it for $6 grand. I go, you got to be kidding me. He says, yeah, but it cost me $7 grand to get it here. He said, wow. And then with the construction crew, buying the appliances, everything, he says, I'm into it for about 45 grand. He said, he said, a third of what I paid for my house. So I said, no shit. I mean, more power to you, man. And it went like, I mean, it went wild. People just loved the place. And it's in the middle of nowhere. But that's the point. He said, it's so far between two larger towns. It's the only place you can stop.
Oh, no, yeah.
You know, if you're the only place they can stop and grab a quick bite to eat, you're going to get customers. Well, it was better than that. He ended up with these locals that are 30 miles away from him, driving all the way out there to have their lunches and to take the family out. He had tables outside around it that you could sit at and stuff. He ended up with this huge local clientele, not just the drive-through clientele. So sometimes, you know, people will tell you, that's nuts. You shouldn't do that. And you do it and you go, oh, yeah, I shouldn't have done this, huh? That's like I started a dock business. Now, who the hell's going to sell boat docks in northwestern Montana? There's not a lot of big lakes with private land around them. Well, I love to log. So I was buying these cedar contracts, cutting all these cedar trees down, right? I took them to a local guy that has a small mill. He would trade me my raw cedar for finished kiln-dried cedar.
Oh, nice.
Off of the kiln-dried cedar, a buddy of mine was a great welder. He did all the fab work, made all the iron parts we needed. The ex-wife and I built all the decking for docks, and we started building docks. We're selling these damn docks for $1,800 to $3,000 a piece. It got so damn busy. I started telling people, you order a dock, you get it next season. It went nuts in northwestern Montana. What in the Sam Hill? I only made one error, and that was picking my partner. My partner was a pilot. He flies for Flying Tigers. I mean, yeah, he's making a couple $100,000 a year, right? All of a sudden he gets this, I don't have to pay taxes. I'm sick and tired of our government taking my taxes. So he doesn't pay his taxes for 3 years. Oh yeah, they come after him. And they took the dock business with him, because he was a full partner with me. It didn't matter about my share. Anything that had his name attached to it, they seized. And they ended up seizing the whole damn business except for a couple of chainsaws and a couple of hand tools. Otherwise, everything went gone. So it was turning into a booming business, gone overnight because that goofball wouldn't pay his taxes.
You know, you want to get messed with, don't pay your taxes. Just saying.
And
The
people don't
like, there are people like that though.
Yeah, and people don't understand until they have to. You do not want to have to go before an IRS revenue court. That's a whole different jurisdiction than going to your local district court. Totally different. Their rules and procedures are totally different. You do not want to go there. You do not want to be in federal revenue court. No, you don't want to be there. Because they will have their way with you. The best you can do is, if you get drug into that federal tax court, is right away get the prosecutor and the judge and you together and work out a deal. Then you don't have to go through the court procedures. Because if you go through the court procedures, they're going to rip you off so bad. Justin, I don't want no Uncle Sam paddling. Yeah, and that's it. I ran into an issue with the IRS. I ain't proud. Hell, I'll admit it. And I owed him $22,000, and I got on the horn and started talking to the Department of Revenue. Played the hard case, Oh yeah, that's when I was flush, I screwed up, my bad. I screwed up, a lot of admittance and a lot of kissing butt. They knocked that sucker in half.
Nice.
They said, if you'll pay $11,000 and you pay it now, you're done. It's over. I said, I would love to write you a check for $11,000, but I said, I can't swing it. I said, how about I write you a check for $1,000 and I'll send you that $1,000 for the next 14 months. That'll cover all the interest, anything else, penalties, anything else. You'll get 14 instead of 11. Oh yeah, we'll take that. They were good about it. And so I sent them $1,000 a month for 14 months, and then it's gone. It's gone. They haven't bothered me since. Haven't audited me since. It was just like, hey, he was a good customer. That's cool. Leave him alone. He paid his share, So yeah, you don't want to piss them people off. And then that's stupid. Let's hire 87,000. Is that what it is? I can't remember. It's that huge fucking amount of IRS agents. What the hell are you doing that shit for? Well, they're not going to go after anybody making less than $400,000 a year. Oh my butt, they aren't.
Huh.
I guarantee you they are, because people making over $500,000 a year can afford the attorneys to fight some of these tax cases or drag them out long enough that they can pull up enough money to pay off the penalties and shit. It's the guys under 400,000. They can't afford to fight it, so they pay up.
Mm-hmm.
So don't tell me these guys are only going after people over 400,000. It's just the reverse. They're going after people under that 400,000. I know the game. I've been there. They went after my ass. They didn't have any problem putting all kinds of resources and going after me to try to squeeze 22 grand out of me. Yeah. But I've learned over 60, well, next month it'll be 66 years I put up with this shit. But I've learned over the years that don't try to beat the game, learn the game and play back,
Mm-hmm.
Play the game smart. Play the game smart. They're always trying to change the rules of the game. Stay on top of it and keep track of their rule changes, and you can keep yourself clean and out of trouble. That's like one of my kids had 5 seatbelt tickets for not wearing their seatbelt. And they told me, they said, yeah, I got another seatbelt ticket. And I told her, I said, well, you ran down and paid it, didn't you? Nah, I ain't gonna pay it. I got 4 other ones. I never paid those either. A week later, she's calling me and she says, can you come down and bail me out? I go, bail you out? Yeah, I'm at the sheriff's department. They're arresting me. I said, for what? For those outstanding tickets. I said, the fine is $15. You get a ticket, pay that damn ticket right away. That's the next thing you do after you get the ticket, pay the damn ticket. Don't ignore it. Oh, no. Had to ignore them. Oh, that'll just go away. Well, it didn't go away. They came and picked her ass up and took her to jail. And I said, over $15 no seatbelt tickets, but you had 5 of them that you didn't pay? No. I've had 3 no seatbelt tickets in my life. All 3 of them, within 45 minutes of receiving the ticket, I was at the county clerk's office paying that fine. Pay that sucker right now. $15, you betcha. I'm paying it right now because I'll be able to sleep tonight. I'll be able to sleep a month from now. No, just pay it and get it over with and get out of the situation. Oh, no. Oh, we can ignore it. It's just the government. No. No, the best thing to do is just sometimes just swallow your pride, pay the $15 and move on with your life. I've only fought a couple of tickets in my life, and otherwise it's, yeah, they got me dead to rights. I'll pay the damn ticket, and then I don't have to talk to that cop ever again,
Yeah, I've fought a couple. Few. I've won. The ones I fought, I won.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, don't fight it unless you know you can win it. If you're dead to rights on it, and you know damn well that if the judge is at least human, they're going to take a look at it and they're going to say, no, you're right. The only case I lost that I regretted losing, but in the long run, I came out pretty good on it, was when I got charged with poaching and cattle rustling in northwestern Montana.
Wow.
They dropped the cattle rustling charge, got me in court for the poaching because I pled not guilty. I was able to submit to the court evidence that I had the right to take that deer. It's an old Montana statute, rarely known. In fact, there were 3 attorneys involved on the prosecutor's side, and not one of them found that statute until I provided it to the court. And the judge had never heard of it. It's an unrepealed, it's never been repealed. It's an old statute that says that if you are a citizen of and domiciled within the state of Montana, you may harvest wild game and other natural resources for your own personal sustenance. In other words, you can feed yourself off the land. It's on the books. Well, I got that submitted as evidence, and the judge was really impressed. He took a big, long break to do a little history on it, look it up, and he did mention right in the hearing that statute is not repealed. He told, because the other attorneys were going, that statute was passed back in 1896 or some shit. And I don't care when they passed it. Did they ever unpass it? I mean, yeah, it's a law. It's on the books. And the judge agreed. He said, no, they never repealed it. There's no history of repeal of it.
Wow.
He said, so from that perspective, the defendant is correct. Guess how I lost the case? Nothing I presented to the court, nothing I had to say, did I say under oath. Like a damn fool, I never called myself to the stand and made my position under oath and declare that, yes, I took the deer. This is why I took the deer. This is why it was allowed for me to take that deer. That's all I had to do, is get up there and make those 3 statements, and the judge would have dismissed the case.
Oh, interesting.
He was so pissed that I didn't call myself to the stand and give my testimony under oath, because it left him with no choice but to find me guilty. Because I was providing documentation, but I wasn't under oath rebutting what the prosecution was presenting. So he needed to hear it from me personally that, no, I'm not guilty. And so it was supposed to be $1,000 fine and a year without hunting, fishing, or any other kind of rights like that. And he reduced it down to $300 fine and a year without hunting, fishing privileges. And he kind of under his breath said, but then I'm sure you'll lean against that statute. And then he moved on. I don't need your hunting license or fishing license as long as I'm just feeding my family. Yeah, so thank you, Judge. So I went to the treasurer's office, wrote him a check for $300. Judge comes out of his chambers and he goes, what are you doing? I said, I just paid the $300 fine. He goes, God, man, you see that sign that says Judge's Chambers? Why didn't you knock on that door? I go, I wasn't going to disturb you. He goes, well, if you would have knocked on that door, I would have called you in, and I would have, in a sense, coached you. I would have said, I suppose you're here going to ask me to waive my judgment, because I would have. If you would have come in and asked me to waive the fine and the 1 year, I would have given it to you. He says, you technically won the case, but legally lost it.
Yeah.
That's all. He said, so I wouldn't have had you paying a penny. I said, well, can I get it? She had already stuck that check in the vault, closed the vault. The judge goes, sorry, buddy, you're shit out of luck. That was his exact words. Sorry, buddy, you're shit out of luck.
Wow.
That money now belongs to the state of Montana. I said, damn it.
Yeah. I did something similar with a parking. Well, I wasn't even parked. It was in Seattle by the waterfront. You're not allowed to park, but I was picking up Tracy and a couple other people. And this parking, attendant just screamed up towards me, "I thought I told you you're not allowed to park here." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Talk about
Writes me a ticket. The ticket was, for granted, was only $35. I drive for a living, so I pay those things.
yeah.
But let me tell you what, I emailed everybody and their mother, the governor, everybody and their mother. You should have saw the response I got. And they apologized and said that they'd take care of it, but I already paid it. And then they said, well, we can't do anything about it. And I just, please, next time, if you have a problem, please do me a favor, call us first and all this other stuff,
Yeah. I had the same situation on a fine over in Minnesota. I paid it and then tried to challenge it. And the judge's response to that was, you paying it is prima facie evidence of a guilty plea.
Yeah.
You were willing to pay the fine rather than argue the fine. You decided to argue it after you had already admitted that you were at fault. You wrote the check. You paid it. Oh, shit. So, and that judge told me, he says, just a little recommendation. If you think you're going to challenge it, don't write the check. Challenge it. Don't write the check. You write the check after the judge hears it. Okay. I won't do that again, Your Honor. I like it when you got a judge that'll just, you might not like it, but he'll give you the skinny on things. I like having a judge that'll tell you the way it really works.
For the most part, they're pretty decent. They know, if you always do this or you don't always do this, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Well, sir, I'm going to jump off.
Yeah, I'm going to shut her down. We're at the 2-hour mark. So before you jump off, you can jump off with me.
Okay.
Say goodbye to that great audience we've had. Yeah. It's been fun.
A lot of great people out there. I got
bet.
to see some people out there, especially the guy from Montana. That's not far from me.
Yeah, yeah. And he's a champ, man. I'm telling you. He is a wonderful, wonderful person.
Take care, Justin.
And
Marine Mom's been sticking out and hanging out here for
ever.
Yeah.
Now I know Marine Mom. I haven't seen her in person in ages, but I knew her when she was a young lady. I knew her.
Wow.
She's right there with Running Water. They were school buddies and a little beyond. So I knew her, and I knew her father quite well. He was a sheriff, a deputy sheriff with the county. She's wonderful, wonderful person. I always liked her. I was kind of sad to see her not being more involved with our family for a longer term, but life has its way, right? Yeah. And Dr. Smith, you're right. To infinity and beyond. That's the way I'm looking at it. I swear to God. Now, you people might think I'm nuts, but I've had family members with major heart problems, right? In the past, major heart problems. I've had family members that had ruptured gallbladders. I've had family members that suffered and lost the fight against cancer. I realized one day that I had a bad habit of saying, I wish I could truly understand what they're going through, because I could, my feelings for them would be stronger if I could truly actually understand what they've been going through. I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to shut my mouth because all those things I've had to go through and I've survived all of them. They're miserable, nasty procedures. How they got through it as long as they did, I don't know how. But why do I have to go through all that misery to survive and feel good again? It's the same way with my heart attack. When they split me in half to fix my ticker, I haven't had an issue since. I just saw the cardiologist just a month ago. Oh, no, shit, you got a heart like a 30-year-old. I don't want to hear that shit. The pain and misery I went through. Why did I have to go through that shit? Why did I have to go through the cancer thing? And then find out, oh, no, you're going to be a survivor. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that shit. You're good now. I got a gut feeling that because of my empathy, I want to know, how does that person really feel? I've invited those miseries upon myself that I have a better understanding for those people, you know. Mr. Fulton, hello, we're shutting her down. Cheesehead says, does this guy ever shut up? And yes, I think you're nuts. Yeah, that's why you and I are such good buddies. We get along. We think alike. Yeah.
So you know him very well then.
Yeah, and he says that would be the first shutting your mouth. Hey, right after this show, I'm shutting my mouth right around some food. I'm going to go eat. What the hell? Why not? I can do it. Now I can do it. But if you like to eat, follow Mojo. Get over there and watch his show. I tell you what, he makes up some really, really sweet, tasty numbins over there, man. Yeah, get over there and check him out.
It's not healthy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He doesn't.
Not healthy.
The
heart site there's heart site too. They just stopped in there. Good to see you.
So with that, guys, we're going to wrap up this week's show. I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Oh, there's heart site. Oh, coming in right at the end. Sweetie. I'm glad you popped up and at least said you were here. Love you, girl. And I'll see you all next Sunday. Mojo, if you're available.
Everybody out there in the chat, you guys have a fabulous weekend. Well, the weekend's over. So we're going into Monday. So have a fabulous weekend. And, smile at people. I always tell people to smile at people because, when you go to the store and somebody smiles at you, it's a big deal, right? Or if they give you just the dirtiest look or just a sneer or not even, the time of day and hold that door for you, let it slam in your face, it's a big deal. Put a smile on somebody's face. That's my thing.
When I was the manager of the Dollar Tree, I actually had a customer say to me, I've watched you, Sty, for the last 3 years, smile at anybody and everybody, even the nastiest buggers that come in your store. You'll always smile. And you'll always tell them to have a nice day.
Yeah.
Why? They said, why? And I said, because they walk out the door thinking, I was a real ass, but that guy smiled at me and told me to have a nice day anyway. And guess what? I don't know. That might have been the only smile they got from anyone in that entire day. So yes, smile as much as you can and let others see it. Because you might just make their day for them. So keep smiling, folks. Keep smiling. Yeah. Life is hell, but we'll smile about it. Yeah. So I want you all to take care. Stay safe this week, and we'll see you next Sunday. Mojo, I'll be watching for all your posts, of course.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll catch you again soon, too. So, like always, guys, I got to grab that girl in the fur coat. She keeps asking me to buy her a new fur coat, but no, I like her in the one she's got. And we're going to dance our way right off the porch, and we'll see you all next Sunday. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Take care, man.